Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's edition of WORDCHEW. We're still looking at wisdom, as usual. I'll still continue to look at wisdom, but there's a wisdom we're looking at today. Is the wisdom to change outcome. It is not everybody that has the opportunity to change the outcome of the event of their life. Nothing is fixed in life, but there can be a trajectory of a man's life that is going in certain direction, and when you see it as a child of God, you have the capacity and the power to change the outcome of your life. If you see that your life is tending towards something that you don't want, you can change that outcome. You are not helpless like the enemy or people try to make you believe. Because in life, the Bible says there are two people that can do all things. The Bible says with God, all things are possible. And then it said to them that believe, all things are possible. These are the two categories of people that can do all things, God and the believer. So don't settle down for a negative outcome when it is in your capacity to change it. Let's look at the book of 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 26 to 27. And when the king of Moab saw that the battle was too sore for him, he took with him 700 men that drew sword to break through even unto the king of Edom, but they could not. Then he took his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead, and offered him for a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was great indignation against Israel, and they departed from him and returned to their own land. Look at this king of Moab. He was surrounded by the enemy who wanted to exterminate them, and he began to fight. He began to defend himself. God spoke to Israel to attack Edom and take over and destroy the nation because they refused to do certain things. And so they went on God's instruction, and God had promised to deliver that nation to their hand. If you look at it, the outcome was already determined. Israel was supposed to prevail. So when Moab came and Israel was winning and winning and winning, then the man sat down and said, what is my winning strategy? When you look at it, it took 700 men. He used military as a strategy. He took 700 men that drew sword. He wanted to break through unto the king of Edom, but the Bible says they could not. 700 men to break through and escape from his land and just escape, but they said they could not. You now look at it and say, what can I do to change this strategy? And then he understood the secret of sacrifice. He knew that the battle he was fighting was not going to take goat or cow, was not going to take sheep, or 1,000 cow cannot redeem his soul or redeem his nation. But I'm sure his soothsayer, his babalawos will have consulted them, and they will have told him that this is what you need to do. For you to survive this siege, you must sacrifice something. Of course, we are not justifying human sacrifice, neither do we support that, but it's an hidden king, it's an evil king. So, but he needed to do something. And then he took his eldest son that should have reigned in his stead. He took his future. Literally, what he did was to take his future and sacrifice his future. On the long run, if he's dead today, maybe his son will have also been dead. That boy will have died in the battle. The old people will have been. But he took his future and sacrificed it, offered him on a burnt offering upon the wall. And the Bible says the indignation against Israel. What 700 people could not do, a sacrifice on the wall did it. It's that sacrifice produced an indignation, a great anger against Israel. Say, it's like, what do you want? This man has given his son is dead. And so the indignation against Israel was so much, and God has to tell them, he said, people, pull back. And the Bible says they departed from him. They could not accomplish the outcome that God sent them to accomplish. Despite God being on their side, they could not accomplish that outcome. The Bible says they returned to everybody said, no, let's just end this battle, or else all of us will die. And they went back and did not accomplish the assignment that God gave unto them. Why? Because somebody knew how to change outcome. Do you know how to change outcome? What is the life you are living? Do you know that courses can be changed? You think that the outcome of your life is already predetermined. Death, at the age of 42, people must die. Nobody marries in my family. And so you already prepare for that outcome. That outcome can be changed. Poverty is endemic in that family. It's an outcome that has been from generation to generation. It can be changed. Sickness is also predetermined. As, oh, you have this sickness, in the next 6 months you should be dead, or in the next 2 years you should be dead. Do you know that those outcomes can be changed if you know what to do? It takes wisdom to change outcome. And what wisdom do we need to deploy to be able to change outcome? Medical report can be changed in life. Nothing is fixed. I usually say nothing is fixed in life. Everything in life can vary if you know how to press the right button. If you know how to press the right button with God, you can change it. Ezekiel was predestined to die. God sent a message: set your house in order, you will surely die. But he faced the wall, he prayed, and the outcome was changed again. God added 15 more years to his life. He had a child to succeed him, and then he continued. So every outcome, nothing is fixed. Even when God says something, God, if you know how to press the right button, God can say, okay, I change my mind. Even though I'm the God that does not change, but this time I change, and send your police to come and arrest me for changing my mind. And nobody can arrest him for changing his mind. So life outcome can be changed if you know what to do. You are living your life and you are seeing things happening. You see your children are beginning to misbehave, and you see that this boy is going to end up as a drug addict. This one is going to end up as a harlot somewhere, and you fold your hand. There are things you need to do to change that outcome. You don't just need to fold your hand and say, well, let's give up. That is what he has chosen. You can change that outcome. Your life trajectory is going in the negative, in an unpleasant way. You can change that outcome. They already told you, that, you are going to die next year. You can change that outcome. They already told you that some things are going to happen to you. You can change that. Politicians know how to change outcome of election. Christian is the only one that settle for anything and say, maybe it's the will of God. But the unbeliever knows how to change things. This king sought knowledge, and he said, what can be done to change the outcome of this thing? And he did that. So how do we change outcome? There are times when you need to change your lifestyle, and you change the input. Whatever you input into your life might be what you get. You have a sickness that is nutritional based, whether they call it diabetes, they call it high blood pressure, and they already told you that this high blood pressure or this diabetes or this cancer, you just need to, and you have failed to change your inputs. You change your diet, change what you eat, and you continue to live that life, and one day the person slumps and dies, and they say it's the devil. No, it's not the devil, because you fail to apply the wisdom to change the input into your life, and then you got the expected output. Then you can also change the outcome of your life by changing men and strategy. The man mobilized 700 men, but when he saw that it was not working, he said, what do I do? There are times when you might need to change men. The people around you are the people who are not encouraging you. They are the people who goes in the same direction, and you want to go in the opposite direction, and you still surround yourself with those people. You will still end up like them. If your best friend is a drunkard, you'll be a drunkard one day. If your best friend is a fornicator, you'll be a fornicator one day. But if you want to stop living in sin and your best friend are still sinners, then you end up that way and you think it is God. No. But you can change the outcome of your life by changing the men around you, change your strategy. And then how do you change that? You can change the outcome of your life by sacrifice. Sacrifice is a key thing that can change the outcome. So many people, you want to do certain thing and you know that it's a big thing you want to do. Change the outcome. There were times when you need to make a vow or a pledge. You don't even need to wait until those things happen. There are times when you need to even pay your vow in advance before that thing comes, and provoke heaven to respond to your needs. You have an uphill task before you, and you know that the outcome might affect you negatively. Cast a seed, sow a seed, offer a sacrifice to God. The people of the other religion, what they do, some of them will build their religious places, because they want to change outcome of their life. And Christians will sit down, fold their hand, and be criticized. Oh, you are giving to pastor, you are giving to church, you are doing that. And the other people are doing much more than you are doing, and they are not complaining, and nobody is condemning them. You can change the outcome of your life by sacrifice. Sacrifice is the bedrock. It's one of the strongest bedrock by which you can change outcome. Abraham was supposed to be a non-entity, but when God said, give me Isaac, when he gave Isaac, it changed the outcome of his life. He will have ended like his fathers and his uncles and his brother. But the moment he gave Isaac unto God, he changed the outcome of his life forever. So when another king wanted to call Balaam and Balak, when they began to try to curse them, God says, there's no enchantment against Jacob. Abraham had offered a sacrifice some 2,000 years ago, and so there's no curse that can work against Jacob. Why? He changed the outcome of his destiny, of his life, of his generation. So today we can change the outcome. I don't know what you are going through. I don't know what they have predicted to you. Maybe a prophet has told you something that will affect you. And you believe it, and you are preparing, you are already setting your house in order to die. You don't need to set your house in order to die. You can use wisdom to change the outcome of your life. I pray that God will turn around your captivity today, change the story of your life, and change the negative trajectory of your life to a positive one. I pray that God will terminate everything that is set to terminate your life and destiny and give your life an abundant life. And I pray that your latter days will be better than your beginning. And I pray that God will turn your failure to success, turn your death to life, turn evil things into good for you, and make you a testimony to your generation. Thank you for being part of today's WORDCHEW. Join us same time tomorrow. God bless you.